the DA, Fani Willis. She is back in the headlines, and apparently she has confessed. She has confessed. She's given it up. She said, "I did it. I did it." Let's tune in.
Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney who is prosecuting the former president, Donald Trump, for election interference in Georgia. She has admitted to having an improper relationship with her lead prosecutor. I mean, this is a
big admission. Up until this point, she has said she will not speak on this. Right. But she was required to respond to those allegations, and now she has.
Yeah, this is according to court documents, by the way, a court filing, which we're just getting in right now. We will have a reporter on this coming up really shortly. But, just talking about the context here, of course, being here in Georgia, she is at the helm of this prosecution against the former president. And there have been, members of the GOP, particularly those who are Trump supporters, who have been saying, we've got
a conflict of interest, essentially, because the person who she's admitting to having this affair with is someone she hired,
right,
to be a part of this case against.
Let me know in the comments if y'all think this is a conflict of interest. Because to me, I'm not going to sit here and think it is, because let's be honest, they're grown adults. They're grown adults. And if a husband is married to a wife, and one is a judge and one is a lawyer, and they can't be in the same courtroom, then I understand if that's the rule. If that's the rule, then this is completely wrong. But if it's not the rule, then did she violate it?
Donald Trump and his allies. So this is really a pivotal moment and could be a big turning point when it comes to this Georgia election interference.
That's exactly
case.
Right. And, just because there is an admission of having a relationship, what else did she say in that court filing? Does she believe that it is, a conflict of interest? What did she have to say about that? And there's still some questions about what exactly she had to say.
Right. And really at the heart of this is the money that was used to pay him to be part of this team was then turned around, and she benefited from it because there's accusations that she went on trips and they went on vacations together.
Lots.
Yeah, there accusations. Certainly here. So. National political correspondent Abijoy Burnett is with us now. Abijoy, you have been.
Fani was getting bust down on Carnival Cruise Line. Damn. And they got the receipts to prove it. That's tough. That's tough. Hey, man, I don't know who told her to take this case, man. I don't know who told her to sign up for this, but she should have left it alone. She should have left it alone. Trump don't play. Trump is getting all information out on the table. He said, I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. And this is, to be honest with you, this is being talked about more than the actual case. We done forgot what the case is about. You might as well throw this case in the bush. We want to know why you sleeping with this man now. That's what we want to know. Let's continue.
Following this is, you sent a message saying we got this in and you ran to report it. So Willis was up against this big deadline today. So what can you tell us about how this went down?
The deadline was today. Of course, close of business for many of these courthouses could be 4:30 or 5 o'clock. So there was always a possibility that we would have to wait to the end of the day. But here we have it, right around 1 o'clock, sometime after 1. We're now learning that there's this court filing. We're still trying to get all of the details on the filing. But the headline news, the breaking news right now is that she is admitting to having had a relationship with Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade is the special prosecutor who was hired to help oversee this Georgia election interference case against the former president, Donald Trump, and several other co-defendants. And I want to bring you guys back to what happened in early January. Around January 8th, we got reporting that one of those co-defendants, Michael Roman, said that made the accusation that Fani Willis, the district attorney who's at the helm of this investigation was having an inappropriate relationship with Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor who she hired to help oversee this case. You ladies referenced this, that many people said this was problematic because it could have potentially been a conflict of interest. But then the time went along. We heard the allegations, but we heard nothing official from Fani Willis on this matter until today. We're getting to this point today because the judge who's overseeing this case, Judge Scott McAfee, he wanted for her to have, he set a deadline for her to file a response to these allegations today. And it's very interesting. If you've watched this process play out, there was a hearing maybe about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago or so, where it was really the elephant in the room. There were other proceedings that were going on, other matters revolving around this case, but it wasn't really touched on. The judge said he wanted to wait to hear of a response from.
Even the judge is like, I gotta hear about this. Even the judge is like, I need to hear. I need to hear it from you, Fani. Since it was brought up, might as well. Tell us what's going on, Fani. Nathan, what's going on? And nobody's asking Nathan to do anything. Nobody's saying, Nathan, you need to confess. Nobody's saying, Nathan, you need to do this. Headlines are Fani Willis, not Nathan. This is your career. This is your career. And I'm not going to say it's blemished, but it's definitely publicized now. And that's tough.
Fani Willis before he set a court date to discuss this. And then when he didn't hear anything, he said that she had to respond by today, February 2nd. And so now we have this filing. I still have to go over all of the details, but we now have this filing where she is admitting to that relationship. Of course, the big question now is, what happens to this massive RICO case that involves the former president? We know that many people have said this has been something that is extremely politicized. Legal watchers are saying that she should recuse herself. Possibly Nathan Wade should recuse herself. There are other people who are saying she should not have to recuse herself. But now that there is this main admission of a relationship with someone who she hired, we have to look at the timeline of events. When did this happen? Was it before she hired him or after she hired him? All of these questions will need to be answered. And all of this is looming as we still wait to hear when the trial will move forward in this matter. We know that Fani Willis sometime last year hinted at the possibility of having something happen in the summer months. It's ultimately up to the judge to figure out exactly when we will have a trial in this matter that involves more than a dozen people, including a former president who's running for the office of the presidency once again. And so with all of the proceedings that are running concurrently, here's yet another thing that needs to be added into the mix to be sorted out. And speaking about sorting things out, there will be a hearing on February 15th in less than 2 weeks, or just about 2 weeks, where Fani Willis has been subpoenaed to testify. She was subpoenaed by the attorney who represents Michael Roman to testify, and we could potentially hear everything come out in full court on this particular matter, or if not everything, then many things. We must also note that Nathan Wade has also been subpoenaed to testify on February 15th. And yesterday, I spoke with a former federal prosecutor to understand how these things work out. If Fani Willis is not able to give a good enough reason on why she's not supposed to testify on February 15th, she will have to do so with many people watching. Remember, these proceedings are streamed live online.
Significant develop here.
That's tough, Fani Willis. That's tough. I hope your career's not over, but I know it's looking slow for you for these next couple months. Your business is all out in the street.